right, everybody, welcome to One Nation of Sports Locker Magazine Extra. I'm your host, Kirk DeMars, and thank you guys for joining us tonight. We've got a great guest on the program from Blair Oaks. We have Jaxon Engelbrecht joining us tonight. Jaxon is a three-sport athlete at Blair Oaks High School, and he's done some outstanding things while he's been there, and we're going to talk a little bit about that tonight, as well as what some of his future plans are. As you can see, this is his article in Sports Locker magazine, and he's again showing the football right there. On the other page, we have him uh, in his track starting position, getting ready to go over hurdles, and he flies over those things. I'm just telling you. We're going to talk about that and what's continuing with the rest of this track season. Jaxon does a lot of different things. You're going to really enjoy this interview tonight because this is an outstanding young man, and you're going to hear some of the different things that not only does he do as a student athlete, but also outside of school and volunteering and different things like that. So without any further ado, let's go ahead and bring Jaxon on in here. Hey Jaxon, how you doing?
Not too bad. How are you?
I am good. I am good. Like I told you before the program, I'm good, but I'm a little bit red from the sun today out there doing photo shoots. So I did not put on sunscreen, and I should have. But oh well. You'd think I would learn by now. How was your day? I know you had. I know you had practice after school, and you're taking your time to do this. We appreciate that. But what's been going on at school? What's been happening as you draw near the end?
Towards the end, just kind of taking everything in, enjoying my last couple of weeks here at Blair Oaks because obviously I'm moving on to the next stage of my life and just trying to make the most of everything and give people around me the fun they deserve.
Okay, very good. Uh, let's go ahead and talk about your article in Sports Locker magazine. What did you think about that and how it turned out?
I liked it. I liked it a lot actually, especially the photo shoot. The photo shoot was very. It was something different just because I'm used to us being inside our school taking pictures for sports, but the fact that we got to go down there on the track and take pictures for the sports I was currently in was awesome.
Yeah, that was quite a bit of it's always fun when I'm out there and with my daughter. She's the one that does the photography, so I love that. My son-in-law's there. He provides the comic relief. Um, yeah, but yeah, you were working hard, switching out uniforms. We appreciate you doing that. And I don't remember, was it cold that day? I don't think it was. Was it?
It was a little windy. It wasn't
Okay, it
too
was a
bad, but
windy.
there was some
Okay,
wind.
okay, all right. So what did your friends and family say about your article?
My family loved it. Can't tell you how many copies I gave out and how many my mom made me sign for people, but that's about it.
Okay, well, I was going to ask you, did you autograph for anybody? So that you already answered
Yeah.
that. That's good. Uh, so talk a little bit more about the photo shoot. So you were in your football uniform as well as in track. Uh, just talk about how did you feel with what we were doing with the photos and um, what was your experience like with that?
The photo, like I said, I enjoyed the photo shoot a lot. Switching over to jerseys, that was kind of a pain in the butt because those football jerseys, they're not loose, they're tight. They fit you
Yeah,
pretty snug, especially the pants too.
yeah.
But I'm glad we started off with that. One thing I didn't like about the photo shoot is that it was windy, and I'm somebody who always needs to have my hair
Hmm.
exactly the way I want. So
Yeah.
just try to fix that.
Well, let me tell you that if you would have been out there today, then that would have been a problem. We were over at a couple of places. I'm telling you, it was like a wind tunnel coming through there. The poor girls, they're trying to fix their hair, and it was like we could only have them facing one direction, so it was like blowing their hair back. And so, some people pay for those wind machines to make their hair fly in pictures,
Yeah.
but I know it. Well, let's put it this way. I used to know what you mean when I had hair and it would blow around. Now I'm just aerodynamic. I'm aerodynamic. That's it. In your article, Jaxon, you talked about your love for sports and starting early. Tell us about that and how you came to compete in the three sports that you do.
So to start off, like you said, I did fall in love with sports at a young age. It started off with flag football and t-ball when I was in first grade, and then track really didn't come till later in 8th grade. I kind of grew up in when track got brought up in a conversation when I was little. I was kind of always like, track's kind of like a weird sport. It just probably not for me. But then I got convinced to do it 8th grade year. They had me start running hurdles, and I kind of fell in love with those since.
Hurdles, that's something that if somebody that has not tried, and it was 300 intermediate hurdles that you do, right?
Hmm.
Yeah. If if people will think about running for almost a quarter of a mile, but jumping over hurdles as you're doing it, that's a whole new ball game, isn't it?
Yeah.
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 Well, hey, I've noticed we have quite a few people that have jumped on here, and I want to encourage anybody that's watching. Feel free to make any comments that you have about Jaxon in our comment section, or if you have questions or things you might want to know, feel free to go ahead and do that. We encourage your participation, and I know Jaxon would love to hear from you as well. So thanks for joining us tonight. Um, Jaxon, tell us about what it's been like attending Blair Oaks High School and your experience with your education as well as with the students and faculty there.
Blair Oaks it's a great school. I'm glad we moved when we did, and I came here. I've been here all since kindergarten for Blair Oaks. Not only is it just the school and education you get here, it's the community as well. Everybody who lives here, and just like Friday night football games, we have pretty much the entire town of Taos, St. Thomas, Wardsville, and Osage Bend. Everybody's there to come support. And back to the education, we have a great staff, great faculty. Everybody there just makes the school in general so much better.
Well, I want to talk a little bit about that too, as far as how we have student athletes selected in the magazine to write articles and do the photo shoots. Uh, we have a good relationship with the athletic directors, activity directors, and
Hmm.
we ask them what students would you like to have represented in the magazine for these next three issues, because we go and we do three issues at a time when we do the photo shoots. And so they're the ones that talk to the coaches. They come to a consensus as far as saying this young man or young woman would be a great representative of our school. And so that's how that process works. And so well done, Jaxon. They think highly of you.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
All right. Speaking of thinking highly of you, Lynette Proctor says, "Glad you are inside because the wind is really blowing outside. Your hair is looking great." Absolutely.
Thank you.
And then Haley Jenkins, "So proud of you, Jax. We love watching you and supporting your sports journey." Thank you, Lynette and Haley, for your comments. That's great.
Thank you, Haley.
All right. Uh, you talked about your family in your article and
Hmm.
your mom and dad, your siblings. Give us a little insight about them and what you most appreciate about your family.
What I most appreciate about them is probably just the love and the support they give me during my sports events. Every time I'm not feeling the best during a game, I'll look up and I'll notice they're there and I see them cheering. That's kind of what motivates me the most. What pushes me the most to be a better athlete is probably my brothers, because as the oldest brother, you don't want your younger brothers to be better at you in something. You always have that grit to want to be better than they are at everything you do.
Yep. They're gonna try to come at you after you leave and try to beat any marks that you have put up so that they can have those bragging rights at the dinner
Yeah.
table during Thanksgiving. So tell everybody what your brothers' names are. Your sibling.
Uh, ja- Javin, he is a sophomore. He's our goofball of the family, and then Jet, he's another goofball, but he's the sporadic one. He's in 5th grade.
Okay. Very good. Well, you do have people outside of your family that think a lot of you. As a matter of fact, a friend of mine, he's
Hmm.
on the program here tonight, Devin Frank, and he says his son Brooks, and I love that little guy. He said
Yeah,
he is your biggest fan. So that's
Brooks. He
awesome.
probably is my biggest fan.
Yeah, he's a great kid.
Yeah, he
Um,
is.
Now here's another one that Tell me who's Hayden Engelbrecht. Tell me.
He is my uncle, so he is my dad's half brother.
Okay, so here's what I'm gonna put this up on the screen because this is what he said. Okay.
Okay. He
You
always
know,
gives me a hard time. Me and him, we go at it sometimes.
all right. Well, I'm sure you can say thank you, but I don't know. You can go from there. All right.
Uh,
Javon says, what was it like going against Jaxon Engelbrecht in sports? That's his question. You can answer that.
Me, when we were little, we still do sometimes, but mainly when like a couple, 4 or 5 years ago, downstairs basketball that gets heated. Me and him would go at it, and most of the time it ended up in a fight. One of us ran upstairs to mom or dad.
Yeah, I know that when my brother was a year younger, and we did that as well. And sometimes we broke things, and then mom wasn't happy about that. So
Nope.
yeah. All right. Let's see. Kathy Smith says, "Love this kid. Makes us so proud." Thank you for that,
Thank you,
Kathy.
Kathy. Or should I say grandma? I probably shouldn't say her first name.
Uh huh. There you go. Grandma's in the house. All right. Let's see. Deb Shaman says, "Love watching you. You make us all so proud." Okay.
That's my other grandma. Thank you, Nana.
All right. Hey, that is great. I'm glad they're able to join us tonight. That's wonderful. I'm sure they've been able to follow you and have been really proud
Mhm.
of your journey, not only on the playing field and court, but also um, in life. So well
Yep.
done. Yeah. Tell us about how you were raised, and I mean, and you can include as far as like grandparents. I mean, how was how were you raised in your family, and how has that impacted your life both on the field and off the field?
I've always been told that make smart decisions, be a smart kid, because, like I said earlier, I've got two younger brothers and they look up to me, especially the littlest one. And sometimes I notice that the things I do, he wants to do them the exact same way. So I just kind of been told just be smart, don't be dumb, and don't get yourself in trouble.
That's good. Um, do you feel a pretty big responsibility as far as being a role model to your younger brothers?
Yes.
What do you think is the one thing that you would most like to leave with them as far as things that they can do to, I guess you would say, live up to some of those standards that you have?
So kind of like you said, just live up to my expectations because they, I mean, obviously look up to me. They probably want to be like me too. Although Javin probably disagrees, even though I know he wants to be like me. But yeah, they just like you said earlier, the bragging rights. They want to be able to say they're better than me, even though they're probably not.
Yeah, there you go. See, there you have it, Jevin. We've got the trash talk in full force tonight. So, and we don't want grandmas breaking in trying to
No,
break this up. So, we'll be
it's all
careful.
love. It's all love.
Okay. How has your family inspired you as a student athlete and encouraged you to be the best that you can be in everything that you do?
They inspire me by just wanting to meet their expectations and making them proud. I mean, they're my biggest role models. Like my younger brothers are, like I am to my younger brothers, and I just kind of that proud. Want to be the best son. Obviously, can't be because I've got two younger brothers, but just living up to their expectations and pushing to be a person that can make them happy.
That's good. I want you to go in a little bit further. Tell us about your brothers and your relationship with each of them. I mean, I know you have, like you said, one's older and one's, you said, five or in fifth grade?
Fifth grade, yep.
Fifth grade. Uh, just talk about that relationship and, what you guys have, and um, not just as, people that live in the house together, but, as family.
Start with Javin. Me and him, we have a pretty close relationship. I can tell him things that I can trust, and he tells me things that he doesn't really want anybody else to know. And I see him a lot more because he's also in high school as well, so
Hmm.
that kind of helps. And then with Jet, whatever he needs, I'm there for him. I mean, I've got his back, he's got mine. He's the crazy child, like I said earlier. So I kind of keep him in check too sometimes.
That's great. Uh, so has Javin, has he competed on any of the teams that you were on? I mean, has he been a part of that with you? What was that like?
Yep, he has. It was awesome to know my little brother is playing the same sport, not on the same team, but with me.
Uh-huh.
It's a different feeling. It makes me happy.
Good. All right. Okay, so you've done real well. We've flown through this first part. We're going to take just a quick little break, give you a chance to get some water, and then we'll have our sponsors on, and then we'll be back for the second part of the interview. Great job.
All right, thank you. Sounds good.
Services has been connecting employees with employers since 1977. Recently, CNS rebranded to CNS Employment Solutions to more clearly define their mission of serving the needs of applicants, employees, and businesses while remaining current and evolving with the changes in the workforce. One important thing has not changed. CNS Employment Solutions partners with a wide variety of employers, placing employees in jobs that match their skills and needs.
Say yes to CNS.
All right, CNS Employment Solutions. We absolutely love and appreciate that group of people right here in Mid-Missouri. They help people that need jobs find employers that are seeking people to fill those positions, as well as helping the employers find those people needing a job. They've been doing it for a long time. They're very good at what they do. So if you know anybody that needs help finding a job or is wanting to make some changes, feel free to get down there to CNS Employment Solutions, talk to Paula Benny and her team, and they will get you set up. Also, we have Big Whiskeys is our sponsor for our Coach of the Issue, and I'm going to switch over to that slide here real quick. And our Coach of the Issue for this past one that Jackson was in has Coach Kenny Goins from California. And as you can see, Kenny, he had us go out because this was one of his favorite spots out in the country where he has his cross-country team train and run all the way out there. It was beautiful out there, but I was thinking as we were out there, man, that's a long way to run. That's a long way to go. Somebody please bring me a car to pick me up and take me back. But outstanding coach, and that's what we appreciate about our Coach of the Issue, Big Whiskeys, as our sponsor. They help us to give a shout out to the men and women that are really making an impact on our student athletes right here in Mid-Missouri. They're taking away time from their families and pouring into the student athletes for the love of the sport, as well as a love for the kids, and helping many of them through difficulties, helping them to be the best that they could be, challenging them, and being there for them when sometimes things don't go so well and things happen in their families. And so we appreciate everything that our coaches do, and we appreciate Big Whiskeys for helping us to bring that to you through Sports Locker Magazine as well as on this program. All right, we've been talking to Jaxon Engelbrecht, and we're going to get right back into our interview with him. And I want to encourage you again to make any comments, or if you have any questions, feel free to do that. We'd love to hear from you. All right, Jaxon, great job. I'm excited to hear a little bit more about this because, we were just talking about coaches, and we're going to transition right into this part. Tell us about your different coaches and how they've impacted you and challenged you to be a better student athlete, not just an athlete, but a student athlete.
All my coaches, they've encouraged me to be a better person, not just for me, but like I said earlier, the kids around me. And I look up to all three of them. They've helped me in various ways to become a better athlete, to become better in the classroom, because they'll stay on your butt about that. And just to be a better person. Not just for kids around me, but the younger kids as well.
So let's talk a little bit about each of your coaches. So go like football, then talk about basketball, and then track.
Start off with football. Coach LePage, he's our head coach. He's a great coach. He's been elected into the Hall of Fame, and he is somebody who will push you and stay on you because he sees more in you than you know. Over the summer, his main point for me was to bring my track speed to football, and instead of trying to go side to side, just stay straight, use my athleticism and my speed, and just get out and run. And that's really what's made me a better athlete in the football. For basketball, Coach Voss, me and him, we like to give each other a hard time. Me and him have a close relationship, and he's my coach in the weight room, and he's pushed me not only in the weight room, but to become a better player on the court as well. And then for track, Coach Holtmeyer, he's probably, I don't know a word to describe him, but he's like just a random mystery object in a box. You never know what you're going to get out of him one day. I look up to him big time too.
All right. A random mystery coach in the box. Okay, that's good. Um, what would you say how they've helped you maybe deal with some of the challenges that you may have faced in sports or anything else? How have they helped you with that?
They've helped me with challenges, and like I mean, there's not really a way for me to put this except for work hard. Like if there's a problem, just think of ways you can work around it or get through it. And I mean, it's always a brighter picture at the end of whatever that challenge is.
Very good. Um, you're right. You're coming into the close of your senior season in track and field. Why don't you go ahead and talk a little bit about that? What some of your goals are as you close things out, and currently how have you been doing with things?
Currently with track, last year as a junior, I finished second in the 300 hurdles, and our 4x4 got fifth. But this year, my main goal is to place as a team because we've got the guys who can do it, who are in their individual events, who will provide us points, and we can place pretty high as a team because our school for boys track has not done that yet, and our girls team has done that I think 2 or 3 times now. But some personal goals, I want to be the top dog this year. I want to be first for the 300 hurdles, and then I would like to be first as in the 4x4 as well.
Okay, so talk about what how have you improved on your time in the 300 meter hurdles? Talk about that.
This year we've done some a little bit. We've done some more difficult workouts for the 300 hurdles, just more of speed over the hurdle, because that was my main issue last year. I just would run and just go over them, but this year it's more of a form and getting that technique down, so I'm quicker over the hurdle and just finishing my race and coming out quick.
Hmm. Tell everybody a little bit about how you do that as far as how many steps that you take in between each hurdle, and does that vary from beginning to the end?
So Coach Holtmeyer at practice, whenever we're working on the 300s, he tells me I should count my steps in between, but I tend not to do that sometimes. I tend to just get up, not think about anything, and just worry about the next hurdle and just get through. I don't really count my steps.
You just go. All right,
I
that's
just go.
good. What's been your best time?
This year, my best time is 39.20 seconds, and that was at that KU relays, that was a pretty neat experience. It was a high school and a college meet at the same time, and
Hmm.
it was schools from like a bunch of different states. It was like a 500-mile radius.
Oh, that would be pretty amazing. So, talk a little bit about that type of environment, and has that helped inspire you as you're getting ready for the next level?
It was a pretty neat environment. It kind of reminded me of the environment that state was last year. Just a bunch
Hmm.
of people, a bunch of kids, and not just like a regular track meet. You know, everybody there is a very good athlete, and what event they do, they're pretty good. So you just got to keep your head focused. It's a big mental game.
Yeah. Well, you got some people to help you get through a lot of things and support you. We've got uh, Daniel Smith says, Grandma and Grandpa absolutely love watching him. And then he comes back with 110%. And let's see. Oh, your mom says 437 high schools at the KU relays. Wow,
Yeah, yeah.
that's that's awesome. Um, I don't even know how you would be able to get things done with 437 high schools there. Man, that's a lot of people.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, well, very cool. I'm glad you were able to go to something like that. That's always special when you get to participate in something like that. So, very good.
Yes.
Maybe Mizzou fans might not be so happy about it, but I'm just saying. All right, let's talk now about your football season this last year. Just kind of take us through that journey. Tell everybody the position that you played. Of course, wide receiver because you were going vertical down the field. But talk about that. Were you able to reach some of your team and personal goals?
So I was able to reach some team and personal goals. Our team goal was we wanted to be conference champs, district champs, and then state champs. And another goal on the side is we had a goal that was 1-0. Just go 1-0 every day and let everything else take care of itself. And then a personal goal I had was to be all conference, and I did achieve that goal. But about the season in general, I mean, it was awesome. It just the coaching staff and then my friends and other teammates around me to make me better because I wanted to obviously win every game, but we weren't able to do that. We did. Our only loss was to Lutheran North, but they were the Class 4 state champs, and that was a very good team. And something else about the season is just being able to play down there on Faroe Field. It's a different experience. Knowing you're on a college field, it's not like every other high school where there's just a couple stands on each side. I mean, you've got people everywhere around you.
Yeah, that's definitely a different environment, and we'll talk about your future athletic endeavors here in just a little bit. But what would you say was your greatest memory playing football at Blair Oaks?
Ooh, my greatest memory? Probably this year, senior year, after we won state, watching Coach LePage grab the trophy. He jumped up on the little brick wall for Road Field, and he faced away from us, faced our crowd, our pretty much the entire Blair's community, and he hoisted that thing well above his head. That made me pretty happy.
Yeah, that's awesome. Very good. All right, let's shift to the basketball court. How did that go for you this year, and what were some of your favorite memories there?
Some of my favorite memories was probably just more of the feeling of how close I was with my teammates. Everybody got along. Nobody had any bad days with each other, and just working to get better every day because we knew how far we could go, and we didn't end how we wanted to end. We wanted to be district champs, but I mean, obviously, you can't have everything. One of my favorite memories though is probably when we played Southern Boone and Bennett Wildy went up for a dunk, and I was like, "Yeah, there's probably no way he makes this." But he flushed it down, and he doesn't celebrate. He just does what he does, and he just runs back and gets back on defense.
Very cool. Yeah, that's. Um, so how tall is Bennett?
Bennett, I think, is about 6'6".
6'6". Okay. So, were you able to dunk a basketball?
I am, yes, I do have that
Okay.
ability.
All right. And how tall are you?
I'm about 6 foot.
Okay. See, you got some hops, so that's good. All right. Why don't you talk a little bit about your relationships with your teammates? In any of the sports, you can feel free to do that. But how have they challenged and motivated you to be better?
We are every single one of them, we are all very close, and they can tell when I'm not having the best day, or can they tell when I'm having a really good day, and same goes for them. And what pushes me to be better is the fact that I want to make them better as well. So if I get beat at something, I'll want to do it again to show that I can do that, but better than somebody else. And then that hopefully that puts a fire in them that they want to get better and do the same thing.
How did you? I mean, how did you respond? I would say to leadership in the different sports that you competed in. You saw prior leadership. What helped you to become a better leader?
What helped me become a better leader was probably the fact that whenever I was a younger classman looking up to the team leaders then is I wanted to be just like them, walk the same way they did, do whatever they did, look like them pretty much.
Hmm.
And that's kind of what I want the younger kids now to do so that the leadership at Blair Oaks and the sports can keep going and make us successful.
Very good. Now, this next part, I believe that this talks a lot about your character, and I just feel like this says a lot about you. But you talked about in your article about your involvement with Special Olympics. How did you get started with that, and how has that impacted you?
So my mom has always worked with people with disabilities, and then my freshman year they had this thing called there was the Special Olympics bocce ball, and we hosted that down on our football field. So once I did that freshman year, I kind of told myself, yeah, I'll be back the next year, the year after that, and then my senior year as well. And just working with them kids, I mean, it's a good time. You have fun, you enjoy it. I mean, they make you laugh. It's a good time.
That is awesome. Have you been able to pull other people in to be involved in that as well, just through your experience? And have you have you seen the joy that that brought them to?
Yes, I've definitely seen that.
Yeah, well, good job. All right, let's get to what are your future plans after you get done with high school? Talk about that and what you plan on doing.
So when I graduate, I planned, and I've already signed my letter of intent to William Woods, and I will be playing football and run track still. And for my degree, I will be going into exercise science and hopefully staying around that sports stuff
Mhm.
and kind of be like an athletic trainer, just kind of help people out
Yeah.
like our trainers do here at football games and basketball games.
Yeah. So what got you interested in wanting to go into that field?
That was my second option, to be honest with you. My first option was probably get an engineering degree and just go the 2 years at State Tech. But I really did want to continue playing sports, and I knew obviously the next level is college. So
Hmm.
Willie just that seemed like a better fit, and since it was my second option, it was there, and I knew it'd probably be pretty easy.
Hmm. Okay, that's good. Um, Now, not that you're not busy, but let's just talk about your spare time. What are some things that you like to do outside of sports?
In my spare time, mainly what I do is hang out with friends on the weekends. We'll sit there and play poker for hours.
Okay.
It's just we enjoy the time we have together, and then just being able to play a game that really doesn't involve using our bodies as much.
Hmm.
Because I mean that's kind of our rest time whenever we can have time to ourselves, but still hang out with each other. That's pretty much what I do in my spare time.
Good. Do you, with your family, do you play games, and how competitive does that get?
That can get pretty competitive sometimes. And whenever I'm with them and we play games, we're either playing cornhole or we're playing sequence. And when I tell you we're playing sequence, everybody's picking the partner that they usually pick because
Uh-huh.
that just seems we've all got our favorites and we know their play style and what works best.
You know, they need to have some type of a sequence tournament around here or something like that. My wife and I have played quite a bit, and then we also,
It's
when
been
our
a fun game.
grandkids come, they like to play, and so
Yeah.
I'm sure you have dealt with this too. There's probably some trash talk that happens in sequence, which you know, I've seen that, and you know, I've given that I think too. So,
Yeah.
but
Every time
uh,
one of us gets a sequence, we like to let the other team know. We'll stand up and we'll scream sequence to let them know we've got five in a row.
you know, I'm just telling you, Uncle Hayden is just he's bringing it tonight. He just says, ask him about his
Ask about
golf
his
game.
golf. It's not the best, I'll be honest with you. If you put an iron in my hand, I can keep it straight, but as soon as I pick up a driver, it's going right. You don't know where that ball's going.
Yeah, it's that sounds like me. I could hit the other fairway over here with a very good
Yeah,
slice. I mean,
yeah,
don't know what it is, but that's I was good at doing that. And then you catch yourself turning your body so that you can shoot that way, so it'll end up on your fairway.
yeah.
Ah, that could be a frustrating game, but also it's fun. Okay, so Lynette Proctor says, "Can't wait to see you continue your sports journey. So proud of you."
Thank you,
Thank you,
Lynette.
Lynette. And let's see, your mom says, "Sequence Thanksgiving tournament." Okay,
Yeah, we do have that.
that's
Yep.
that sounds good. And then
Hmm.
Kathy Smith says, "Foursquare tournament."
Ooh, Foursquare. We go to my grandma's house after a little barbecue. Foursquare does get intense.
All right, very good. All right, so I'm going to do one more comment. This is from Devin. He says, "Jackson, you're a great student, athlete, and you come from a great family. You've been a great role model for Brooks and other young kids. Our family wishes you the best in your future endeavors and will keep you in our prayers for all your future success."
Thank you.
Yeah, thanks, Devin. All right. Well, you've done an outstanding job going through this. We're going to ask a couple of fun questions, and we might need input from family members because, sometimes,
Uh
you know, I don't know. We'll just put it
oh.
this way. So, what is your favorite go-to snack or meal after a game or a practice?
Favorite meal for after a game? I'd probably have to say Taco Bell. Even though I'll be on the toilet later, it's just easy to go to. Simple little meal I can put down in my belly.
All right. So, I guess with that question, we have to ask. Okay, so what in the world are you eating? what's your what's your favorite thing?
I usually will get that $7 deluxe box and then some nacho fries on the side with a Mountain Dew Baja Blast.
Okay, it's probably the Mountain Dew Baja Blast. It's in the name Blast. I guess I don't know.
Yeah, yeah.
All right. If there's anywhere in the world you could go, where would that be and why?
Ooh. I do like to hunt. One of my big bucket list items is to go to Africa and go on a hunt in Africa. I feel like that would be a pretty cool experience just to be able to see the different culture out there, see how they live, and just spend time with people over there and see what they're about.
Okay. So, I'm going to tell you, think about that one a little bit. You're out there hunting the hunters.
Pretty much, yeah.
Okay. All right. Got you. Just so you know that. That's kind of like, you know, some people would always tell me they want to go to Australia. Yes, well, I think that might be neat, but they got some of the most deadly snakes in the world. They've got
Not a big snake fan.
saltwater crocodiles. They've got the funnel web spider, which is one of the most deadly spiders. They've got great
Yeah.
white sharks. I mean, why would you want to go there? It was a penal colony. No, people that have been there love it. So, but that
Mhm.
that was always for me. No, thank you, not gonna go. All right, if you would be able to describe yourself as one of the superheroes, Marvel, DC, whatever, which one would most represent you on the playing field?
Ooh. I'd probably have to say Batman.
Okay, why Batman?
Probably have to go simple and just answer Batman.
Okay, good. Your mom said leopard rug. She's putting in her order. Okay.
I'll keep that in mind, Mom.
All right. Okay, so this is the one that we might need help. What is your least favorite chore to do around the house and why?
Ooh, laundry. That's easy. My mom is always on me about doing my laundry.
Okay. What do you think the number one answer is? The least favorite thing that people like to do?
Probably clean the toilets. That just does not seem like a fun task.
You know, that would be my number one. But the number one answer that most student athletes say is they don't like to do the dishes.
Dishes?
Yeah. And you know what? I'll ask a lot of them, I say, well, do you have a dishwasher? And they say, yeah. And I'm thinking back when I, was growing up, we didn't have a dishwasher. I mean, try doing
hmm
dishes that way. That's different.
Every dish by hand.
All right. Okay. Let's see. Your mom says all of them, and followed by numerous exclamation points. You know, you need to get the full effect of that right there on the screen. All of them.
Yeah.
All right. Who would you say is your if you were to model yourself after somebody, whether it's a famous person or whatever, um, who would that be and why?
Ooh. I'd probably say Channing Tatum, the actor.
Mm-hmm.
I have to pick him.
Okay. Not for his haircut because he does
No.
he's got shorter hair. All right.
Yeah.
Good. All right. Um, all right. I want to give you an opportunity. You've done a great job. I want to give you an opportunity to share any final thoughts, any shout outs to anybody. Go ahead and do that, and then we'll close out the program.
I will give a shout out. Today before I left track practice, Coach Holtmeyer asked me what I was doing tonight, and I told him about this interview. And he said what I should do is probably shout out Jaxon Stellar. He's a senior at Blair Oaks as well, and he's my hurdle buddy. He runs hurdles with me.
Very good. Well, you did it, so that's awesome. Now, okay, so mom says he's the only one who loads the dishwasher the right way. So
So
there
she
you go.
usually has me do that.
Yeah, kudos. You do what mom instructed. That's always good. All right. Well, Jackson, you've done an outstanding job, and I want to thank everybody for jumping on here and sharing your comments. That's helped make this a fun interview, and you guys can share this with your friends, like our page. We like to get as much recognition as we can for student athletes like Jackson that we can. I will also post this to our YouTube page afterwards. So if you have family members you want to share that with them that they don't happen to have a Facebook account, we'll have it on there as well. All right, Jackson, if you will hold on while I close out the program, I'll visit with you right after I'm done. But thank you so much for being on here tonight. You've done an outstanding job, and that was a great interview.
Thank you. Thank you for having me too.
Absolutely. All right, I'll see you in just a moment. All right, everybody. Thank you guys so much for joining us tonight. Jackson's an outstanding young man, and I hope you enjoyed this interview. I sure did, and I hope you guys have a great rest of your week. We'll have another student athlete on here this next Monday. Make sure you join us Monday nights on One Nation of Sports Locker Magazine Extra. I'm your host, Kirk DeMars. God bless you guys and have a great week. We'll see you then.